Hello, hello, hello. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and I am so happy that you are here joining me today. On this show, I talk about how to expand your world of thought, explore the world of positive thinking, law of attraction, and consciousness from many points of view. I truly believe you have been given the power of the word and thought to create the life you desire. If you're new to this channel, thank you for being here. If you are a subscriber, thank you too for being here. I appreciate your listening. If you're new, please subscribe. As you listen, if you like this, please hit the like button and please share your thoughts in some comments below. I always want to hear if what I have talked to you about is something that can help you make changes in your life. So, we are continuing on with Florence Scovel Shinn, The Power of the Spoken Word. And we're doing the chapter on the glory of the Lord. By the way, I think I need to do it on the other ones, but I'm going to put a link to the book in the description so that you can pick it up. In fact, I have a copy one that'll allow you to get it on Kindle for 99 cents. And yes, I am an Amazon affiliate, so I will get a few pennies if you purchase the book if you don't already have it. So today, we're doing the chapter, The Glory of the Lord. And that's Psalm 24. And she goes on to say, in the dictionary, I find the word glory defined as radiance, splendor. Mine eyes have seen the radiance of the Lord. That means the law in action. We cannot see God, for God is principle, power, the supreme intelligence within us, but what we see are the proofs of God. Now, the book I have was a used book, and the lady, the person, Jane actually, it looks like, or Sally, there's two names in here. Yeah, it's Sally, because the other one was Joyce Myers, and she had her quote underneath it, so it was Sally. Anyhow, she has made all kinds of notes in this book. She's got underlines and notes in the margins, so she really studied this book. But in this part, she said Malachi 3:10, and here's the quote: "Prove thou me herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of hearing and pour you out a blessing so great, there be not room enough to receive it." Close quote. We prove God by directing God's power and trusting in it to do the work. Every time we get a demonstration, we have proved God. If you have not received the desires of the heart, you have asked amiss. That is, you have not prayed aright. You receive your answer in the same way in which you send out your demand. Your dreary desires are answered drearily. Your impatient desires are long delayed or violently fulfilled. It sounds like a repeat from the last reading where we said, be strong, fear not. But let's continue. Suppose you are resenting lack and limitation and living in poor surroundings. You say with great feeling, I want to live in a big house with beautiful surroundings. Sooner or later, you may find yourself a caretaker in a big and beautiful house, but you have no share in this opulence. This idea came to me as I was passing Andrew Carnegie's house and grounds on Fifth Avenue. It was all closed and the entrance and windows boarded up. There was just one window open in the basement. This is where the caretaker lived. It was certainly a dreary picture. So ask, in parentheses she says, or wish, with praise and thanksgiving, so that you will see the glory of the law in action. All life is vibration. You combine with what you notice, or you combine with what you vibrate to. So she tells us, and please pay attention to this, if you are vibrating to injustice and resentment, you will meet it on your pathway at every step. You will certainly think it is a hard world, and that everybody is against you. Hermes Trismegistus said several thousand years ago, to change your mood, you must change your vibrations. And so when she's talking vibration, it's your emotions, it's your feeling. It's, are you uplifted or are you down? Are you depressed? Are you feeling that the world is totally against you? You will get what you're looking for. You will see all the evil. You will see all the pain. You will see people doing things against you, even if they're not. So be aware. All right, so to change your mood, you must change your vibrations. I make it even stronger. I say, to change your world, you must change your vibrations. Turn on a different current in your battery of thought, and you'll see the difference immediately. Suppose you've been resenting people and saying you are not appreciated. Take the statement, God appreciates me. Therefore, man appreciates me. I appreciate myself. Immediately, you will meet with some recognition on the external. Now, take what she says to heart. God appreciates me. And you might say that and not feel it, because you've not felt it or experienced it before. And you might not want to say the word God because of your experiences with other people or things or organizations. But just say, infinite intelligence appreciates me. Because infinite intelligence is all around you, all in this universe, and you can tap into that infinite intelligence of love and caring. So if you need to change the words to change your inner feeling, I want you to do that. So infinite intelligence appreciates me, therefore man appreciates me. And if the word man triggers you, you just say humanity appreciates me. People appreciate me. My boss, my wife, my children, whatever words you want to put in there. Infinite intelligence appreciates me, therefore XYZ appreciates me. And lastly, most importantly, I appreciate myself. I am grateful for myself. I love myself. Immediately, she says, you will meet with some recognition on the external. You'll start seeing it come to you. Now, it may not happen right away, and you need to learn that. And if you have to stop this and rerun it, do that and write it down. Infinite intelligence appreciates me, therefore XYZ, whatever you want to put in there, appreciates me. I appreciate myself. When you do this, she says, you are now a master workman and your tools are your words. Be sure you are building constructively according to the divine plan. Judge Troward said, man is a distributor of God power. He does not create this force. We find in Hebrews, what is man thou art mindful of him. Let me say that again. What is man that art mindful of him? And the Son of Man that thou visitest him. Thou madest him a little lower. Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Boy, I'm having difficulties, huh? And hath crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet. Thou hast put all things under our understanding. So, thou hast put all things under his feet means all things under our understanding. We are now coming into an understanding age. We no longer have the faith of peasants. We have understanding faith. Solomon said, with all you're getting, get understanding. Understanding of the working of spiritual law so that we distribute this power within us in a constructive way. The law of laws is to do unto others as you would be done by. For whatever you send out comes back, and what you do to others will be done to you. I know all of you have heard that. What goes out comes back. So the woman who refrains from criticizing saves herself from criticism. Critical people are always being criticized. They are living in that vibration. And she goes on, she says they also have rheumatism. For acid thoughts produce acid in the blood, which causes pain in the joints. I read an article in a newspaper. It said a physician had had a particular experience with one of his patients. The woman had boils every time her mother-in-law paid her a visit. Well, I would say, tell your mother-in-law don't come anymore. Anyway, there is nothing peculiar in this, as she was boiling within. How many times we have heard people say they were in a boiling rage. So the boils appeared on her body. This does not include all mother-in-laws. I have known some very wonderful ones who have brought only peace and harmony with them. Skin trouble shows that someone has got under your skin. You have been irritated or angered. Here we see again that man gives direction to this God power through himself. Vibrative to this power. All things are under his feet. All sheep and oxen, yea, the beast of the field, the fowl of the air, and the fish of the sea. Whosoever passes through the paths of the seas. What a picture of power and dominion for man. Man has power and dominion over the elements. We should be able to rebuke the wind and the waves. We should be able to put an end to drought. I read in the paper that the people in a certain drought district were requested not to sing. It ain't going to rain no more. So the people in this particular district were requested not to sing. That's interesting. It ain't going to rain no more. Knowing something of metaphysics, they realized the power of negative words. Okay? So they were told, please stop singing this. They felt it had something to do with the drought. We should be able to stop floods and epidemics, for man is giving power and dominion over all created things. Every time we get a demonstration, we are proving our power and dominion. So they had to stop saying, and it ain't going to rain no more. right? Or I think of the words, it never rains in Southern California, and folks saying, we need the rain, let it rain in Southern, and then recently they've gotten more than their share of rain. Anyway, I digress as usual. Anyway, we must be lifted up in consciousness for the King of Glory to come in. As we read the statement, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. We seem flooded with an inner radiance. The single eye means to see good only, to be undisturbed by appearances of evil. As Jesus Christ said, judge not by appearances, judge righteousness, right judgment. There is an occult law of indifference. Jesus Christ knew this law. None of these things move me. None of these things disturb me. We might say in our modern language, selfishness and personal will bring defeat and failure. Unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain. Who built it? The imagining facility is a creative faculty. The imagining faculty is the creative faculty, and your fear pictures will appear on the external, the result of your own distorted imagination. With the single eye, man sees only the truth. He sees through evil, knowing out of it comes good. He transmutes injustice into justice and disarms his seeming enemies by sending goodwill. He is now backed by unnumbered hosts of power, for the single eye sees only victory. We read in mythology of the Cyclops, a race of giants said to be inhabited Sicily. These giants had only one eye in the middle of the forehead. The seat of imagining faculty is situated in the forehead between the eyes. So these fabled giants came from this idea. You are indeed a giant when you have the single eye. Jesus Christ, the greatest of all teachers, reiterated, now is the appointed time. Today is the day of your salvation. A few days ago, I saw a motion picture which showed the futility of trying to live in or bring back the past. It is a French picture, and it's called Life Dances On. It is a story of a woman who, when 16, had gone to her first ball. She is now a widow of about 35. She had married for money and had never known happiness. When burning old papers, she came across a faded dance program. On it were the names of 6 men she had danced with at the ball. Each had sworn to love her all his life. As she sits with the program in her hands, the memory of the ball is pictured on the screen. A scene of loveliness, the dancers almost floating to the strains of the entrancing waltz. Her life is now empty, and she decides to recover her lost youth by finding out what had become of the men whose names were on the program. A friend who is with her says, you cannot recapture your lost youth. If you go back, you lose the things of today. However, she goes in search of them, and with all comes delusion. One did not remember her at all when she said, don't you remember me? I'm Christine. He replied, Christine who? Some of them were living sordid lives. At last she returns to the town of her girlhood, where the 5th man lived. He had become a hairdresser. He talks of her gaily of old times, while he gives her a permanent wave. He says, I don't suppose you remember your first ball. It was right here in this town, and tonight there will be a dance in the same place. Do come with me. It will remind you of the old days. She goes to the ball. Everything looks cheap and tawdry, unattractive. Badly dressed people are on the dance floor. She requests the orchestra to play her waltz, the waltz of her lost youth. Her escort tells her the others won't like such old-fashioned waltz. however they play it. The contrast is too much. All her illusions have vanished. She realizes the ball she remembers never really existed the way she thought it did. It was only an illusion of the past. She could not recapture her past. It has been said that the two robbers on the cross stood for the robbers of time. One spoke of the past and one of the future, and Jesus Christ replied, "Now is the appointed time. Today thou shalt be with me in paradise." In the old Sanskrit poem we are told, "Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the salvation of the dawn. All worry and fear are robbers of time." The occult law underlying indifference is one of the most profound, for it contains the attainment of a state of consciousness in which the outer world of sensation has no influence upon the action of the mind, and it can, therefore, be in complete at one moment with the divine mind. Most people's lives are a succession of disturbances, lack, loss, limitation, mothers-in-law, landlords, debt, or injustice. This world was popularly known as the Vale of Tears. People were all mixed up in their own affairs, fighting their battles and carrying their burdens. If a man judges by appearances, he finds himself in an arena most of the time. The arena of adverse conditions and facing lions of lack and limitation. If thine eye be evil, if you are imagining adverse conditions, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If, therefore, the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? The light of the body is the inner eye, or the imagining faculty. If, therefore, thine eye be single, you are seeing only one power, one plan, and one planner. Your body and affairs will be full of light. See yourself daily bathed in the light of the Christ. This inner radiance is invincible power and dissolves anything not divinely planned. It dissolves all appearance of disease, loss, lack, or limitation. It dissolves adverse conditions or any weapon that is formed against you. We have always at our command this light when your eye is single. We should learn to turn on this light with the same assurance with which we turn on the electric light. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all right things shall be added to you. The Chinese proverb says, "The philosopher leaves the cuff of his coat to the tailor." So leave the plan of your life to the divine planner, and you will find all conditions permanently perfect. You are indeed a giant when you have the single eye. I love that. The unnumbered host of power, because that single eye is victory. The single eye means to see good only, to be undisturbed by appearances of evil. So don't dwell in lack. Don't dwell in what you think you see now, but change your vibration. Change your vibration and know that things are right. I want you to look and see and say with praise and thanksgiving the things that you desire, so that you will see the glory of the law in action. Well, I went beyond my normal time, but that's okay because I finished the chapter. Anyway, I hope you liked what you heard today and it taught you a few things on seeing the light and the glory of the Lord. The next one is peace and prosperity. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share so others can know they have the power to create the life they desire. So as you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so, and I will see you in the next video.